This boxing match is coming up and Bivol's ex wants Bivol to lose, so she has been disclosing all of his injuries. She says he has a stress fracture of the vertebrae in his back. All his hands have been operated on, and not just once, one elbow for sure. Very sore knees, his left ear is constantly swelling. It's been broken many times, and fluid has accumulated in his eye many times. Sometimes he can't see well. She says she's upset because of all the attacks on me from Bivol, failure to pay child support for his sons, and complete refusal to communicate with them. In the main and co-main event, gonna go with Saint Denis and Imavov. Saint Denis by decision. Hesitate saying decision because Saint Denis is such a savage, but I think Moicano might be tough enough to last. We'll see what happens. Imavov by points. Think he's going to outpoint Allen on the feet and keep it standing, but Allen is such a live dog always. He's always one takedown away from strangling you. If Alex Pereira wins next weekend, that'll be 3 title defenses for him, which would tie him for the most out of current champions. The other person who has 3 right now is Islam Makhachev, the most out of any current champion. A few days after this main event in Salt Lake City is this main event in Salt Lake City, Karate Combat 50. Alex Pereira getting acclimated to the elevation of Salt Lake City. Hopefully other fighters on the card also do the same. If they don't, you may see some fighters gas out quicker than they normally do. Waldo Cortez Acosta is out, so now Chris Barnett's going to be taking on Junior Tafa on October 12th. It'll probably be more of an entertaining fight. Cortez Acosta is effective, but his style is less entertaining than a Tafa and a Barnett. That October 12th card is headlined by Royval versus Taira. If Taira wins, he'll catapult into the number 1 position in the flyweight rankings and probably get a title shot. Taira is the slight favorite in that fight, around a minus 185 betting favorite. If Royval wins, it'd be a bit of an awkward situation because he's already fought Pantoja and lost to him twice, including a title shot. Sandy Ryan had paint thrown on her on the way to her fight with Michaela Mayer. As far as the fight goes, Michaela Mayer won a majority decision. One judge had it a draw. One judge had a 97-93 Michaela. The other 96-94.
She was attacked as she left her hotel. Someone threw a can of paint all over her. Of clearly a setup. I mean, with all due respect, they're not waiting outside the hotel for Sandy Ryan. So she was attacked on leaving the hotel. Had to make her way to Madison Square Garden. I believe her team said, we think you should pull out of the fight. You saw the pre-fight interview. She's clearly, as you would be, emotional and upset, and she wanted to carry on with the fight. The fight was incredible. You know, congratulations to Michaela. I had Sandy edging the fight 96-94, but it was a fight that could have gone either way. I just think it's disgusting. I mean, you've got to protect these fighters. You have a fighter get attacked on leaving the hotel to go to Madison Square Garden. You know, I'll be speaking to Top Rank, I'll be speaking to the WBO as well, because, I mean, I don't feel like she should have fought, but listen, she deserves so much credit and respect for keeping the show on and fighting. But to do that in that emotional state and put in the performance that she did, very proud. And, you know, I believe she should have won the fight, and if she would have, coming back from that would have been incredible. So really not happy with the situation, and we'll be dealing with it today.
Diego Lopez is the official backup for Topuria versus Holloway next month. Lopez has fought 5 times in just over a year. Lopez had 3 wins in 5 months this year over Sadiq Youssef, Dan Ige, and Brian Ortega, which catapulted him 10 spots in the rankings to the number 3 position, and now he has a potential title shot if something happens to either Topuria or Holloway. Ryan Garcia's reaction to Devin Haney's lawsuit against him. I'm being sued for doing my job. This fight has been a Netflix documentary, but this right here is the finale. Your Honor, he simply struggles with left hook syndrome. Garcia's win was overturned to a no contest due to failed drug tests. Nick Diaz taking on Vicente Luque at UFC 310, December 7th in Vegas. They were supposed to fight in Abu Dhabi in October, but travel issues disallowed Diaz from fighting in Abu Dhabi, so he's going to be fighting in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena December 7th. 7 weeks out from Paul versus Tyson, which is Friday, November 15th in Arlington, Texas. Paul's a minus 320 favorite. Last boxing bout from Mike Tyson was in 2020 against Roy Jones Jr. The Anthony Hernandez versus Michelle Pereira UFC Fight Night card on October 19th is the same day as the Ngannou versus Ferreira PFL show, which is co-headlined by Chris Cyborg versus Larissa Pacheco. Also on the main card is Johnny Eblen versus Fabian Edwards and AJ McKee versus Paul Hughes. The prelims are headlined by Rafion Stotts versus Marcus Breno. The Eblen versus Edwards 2 fight comes just over a year after their first fight. Eblen won the first fight via third round TKO. Former UFC fighter Zhalgas Zhamagulov is fighting in Octagon MMA. That's Octagon MMA 63, November 9th. Muhammad Mokaev expected to return to the cage in December in Brave. He should be in the UFC. His talent's kind of being squandered, but the UFC don't want him any longer. But Brave welcomes him back. They got a show this weekend, Brave 88 in Slovenia, and then Brave 89 is October 19th in Spain. A championship Merab Dvalishvili mural being created. He is currently in Paris, France, supporting his teammate Matt Frivola. The Paris fans really seem to appreciate Merab. Alex Nicholson defeats Zach Pauga via TKO in XFC. Thanks for letting us know about other combat events. Besides the UFC, I'm going to try and do that a little bit more. These are some long MMA minutes. I support this. Yeah, doing longer videos, similar style, just longer. French Commission is a joke trying to give their fighters the best advantages they can. Yeah, the UFC should definitely look into some of the things that Brendan Allen has been saying because that doesn't seem fair at all. Him and Renato Moicano doing all these blood and urine tests after weighing in while their French opponents didn't have to do that. Wonderboy on the prelims, what the F? Yeah, Wonderboy versus Buckley looks like it's going to be the featured prelim on next week's UFC 307 card. Bet Aldo abandoned the leg kicks because they became less worth the risk of injuring himself as he aged. Yeah, that could be the case. They were fun while they lasted. He had some of the most powerful leg kicks at the time. Impressive longevity for Aldo, though. He's been fighting in MMA for over 20 years. He's actually just a year older than Alex Pereira, who's just a relative UFC rookie, despite him already accomplishing a UFC Hall of Fame career. Aldo has been fighting in the UFC for over 13 years. Legit question, how did Umar get into the number 2 position in the rankings? Only notable name he beat was Sandhagen. I guess that's just what it was. Sandhagen was number 2, and after he beat him, he catapulted into the number 2 position, and now he's right there for a title shot.